Okay. What if I told you it's actually possible to build a $1 million business in a single year, starting from absolutely nothing, and with literally zero tech skills? I know, it sounds a bit crazy, but in this explainer, we're diving into the incredible track record of Daniel Priestley. This is a guy who didn't just build one, or even two, but several businesses from scratch. Well, more accurately, from just about $100 up to over $1 million. And the most staggering part? He scaled all of them within a single year. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, he must be some kind of tech genius, right? But Priestley freely admits he doesn't have any major technical skills. He doesn't code, he's not a web developer, he's definitely not a video editing wizard. He says he's just good at writing books and talking. So how on earth does someone without complex tech skills repeatedly build seven-figure empires?
$1 million. It's a huge number, but here's the thing. Priestley didn't hit this massive number by getting lucky, and he didn't do it by riding some temporary viral trend. He achieved this repeatedly because he relies on a very specific, totally repeatable framework. Instead of trying to become a tech expert, which, let's be honest, takes years, he spent his time researching exactly how wealth is actually created. He studied the financial experts, read countless books, and through a ton of rigorous trial and error, he distilled the whole thing down to a brilliant step-by-step system. It's a framework that completely bypasses the need for complex technology and focuses entirely on the fundamental mechanics of business.
So we really have to ask this incredibly compelling question. How can someone with zero tech skills build a $1 million business in just 365 days? To answer this, we aren't just going to look at dry theory today. No way. We're going to follow a really fascinating real-life case study. I want to introduce you to Mark. Mark is a fitness coach, and he used Priestley's exact methodology to completely crack the code. By walking through Mark's journey step by step, we'll see exactly how this theoretical framework translates into real-world life-changing money.
So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going through Priestley's four-step case framework: concept, audience, offer, and sales. Let's dive right in. Step 1. Concept. Finding your mission. This is the C in case. You see, a truly great business doesn't actually start with a product. It starts with OVM. That stands for origin, vision, and mission. Let's look at Mark. His origin story begins as a Filipino immigrant whose family moved to the US. Growing up, he was physically weak, he felt vulnerable, and he faced some really severe bullying. When he finally stood up to try and protect his sister, he was brutally beaten. It was so bad that his parents actually started homeschooling him out of pure fear. It's a heavy story, but Mark used this painful origin to ignite a really powerful vision. He envisioned a world where he could help people who felt weak and lacked confidence become undeniably strong. To make that vision a reality, he defined his mission. He was going to create a specific system that people could use to build their health and confidence. Before you even think about what you're going to sell, you have to have this deeply personal why securely in place.
All right, so once Mark had his OVM locked down, he literally just sat down with a piece of paper and brainstormed 10 different ideas to fulfill that mission. He thought about making a personalized meal planning app, but scratch that. He realized the market was completely saturated. A wearable fitness tracker. That required way too much upfront capital. An AI-powered workout generator. Way too technically complex for him. He systematically eliminated all the bad ideas until he found a clear, obvious winner. An online coaching service. And honestly, the relief here was huge. This required super low capital, it totally bypassed any complex tech skills, and it allowed him to directly leverage his own passion for fitness to help people one-on-one. His concept was officially locked in.
Which brings us to step 2. Audience. Targeting the busy, the A in case. Because, let's be real, a great concept means absolutely nothing without the right audience. Initially, Mark tried reaching out to just about everyone who might want to get fit. He cast this incredibly wide net with super generic marketing, and it completely failed. Speaking to everyone essentially meant he was resonated with no one, so he pivoted. He started lurking in online fitness communities, really studying the frustrations people were posting about, and he noticed a glaring pattern. He defined his absolute ideal client, busy professionals aged 28 to 45. These were folks with a decent income, meaning they could actually afford a premium service, but they had absolutely zero time for traditional, lengthy fitness routines. They were desperate for a solution that fit their crazy, time-crunched lives. By hyper-focusing on this exact demographic, his marketing suddenly became laser-targeted. Now, once he knew exactly who to target, he didn't just start throwing sales pitches out there. He tested the waters. First, he hosted a highly targeted, totally free intro webinar called Fitness Hacks for Busy Professionals. He actually managed to get his target audience to show up, and 30 people showed really high interest.
Second, right at the end of the webinar, he offered a bonus 30-minute personalized plan. But here's the catch. He only gave it out in exchange for a detailed questionnaire. This was brilliant because it allowed him to collect a massive amount of data on their specific individual challenges. Finally, he funneled those 30 highly engaged leads straight into a private WhatsApp community. He nurtured them, he answered their questions, and he proved his value upfront. He had successfully captured his ideal audience.
Moving right along to step 3, offer high-value solutions, the O in case.
Mark realized pretty quickly that generic $20 a month workout PDFs just weren't going to cut it for the specific audience. Let's look at one of his initial clients, Sarah. She was a high-powered lawyer, constantly juggling these demanding deadlines and family issues. She had tried standard gyms before, but failed simply because she lacked the time and the personalized guidance she needed. Mark decided to prioritize high quality over mass quantity. He conducted deep, in-person consultations with his initial 30 clients, just like Sarah. He realized that busy professionals value their time above absolutely everything else. They don't want some cheap plan that takes them months to figure out on their own. They want guaranteed results delivered efficiently. Because he was solving a high-stakes problem for a high-income audience, he launched the Fitness Pro Elite program and priced it at a staggering $2,000. He wasn't just selling a gym membership. He was selling a premium, time-saving transformation.
And how do you justify a premium price tag like that? Well, Mark built his offer on 3 undeniable pillars. First up, time crunch workouts. He designed routines that took the absolute minimum amount of time to get maximum results, specifically built for people who just couldn't spend 2 hours sweating in a gym. Second, crystal clear goals. There were no random exercises here. Every single movement was tied directly to a specific, measurable outcome for that client. And third, true partnership. Mark didn't just hand over a spreadsheet and disappear into the ether. He acted as a constant cheerleader, an accountability partner who tracked their progress and actually helped them navigate their daily roadblocks. This high-touch, highly results-oriented partnership is exactly what made the offer irresistible.
And finally, we reach step 4, sales, diagnosing like doctors. The S in our case framework.
I know. The word sales can completely terrify people, right? Especially if you aren't naturally this super extroverted person. But Mark completely reframed it. He realized that if your concept is strong, your audience is highly targeted, and your offer is genuinely valuable, well, sales stops being this high-pressure pitch. It just becomes a natural conclusion. Let's quickly walk through his 4-part process. Step 1 is generating leads. Remember Sarah the lawyer? Because he delivered such incredible results for her, she happily referred him to David, a super busy CEO. Step 2 is booking appointments. When Mark got on a call with David, they didn't just talk about weight loss. They dug into David's schedule and his stress levels. Step 3 is the presentation. Mark pitched the program not as a basic fitness routine, but as a totally customizable lifestyle solution, tailored exactly to a busy CEO's chaotic life. And step 4, closing the deal, which honestly becomes incredibly easy when you do the first 3 steps right.
This right here, this is probably the most vital paradigm shift in this entire explainer. Listen to this. Mark didn't act like a pushy salesman, just trying to hit some arbitrary quota. Instead, he acted like a diagnosing doctor. Think about it. A doctor doesn't try to aggressively sell you random medication the second you walk into the clinic, right? No. They sit down, they ask you questions, they diagnose your specific pain, and then they confidently prescribe a tailored solution. Mark diagnosed David's specific lifestyle frustrations and prescribed the Fitness Pro Elite program. Because of this framing, that $2,000 price tag didn't feel like a heavy, burdensome expense to David. It felt like a minor, incredibly worthwhile investment for a healthier, more energetic, and far more powerful life.
So that is Daniel Priestley's case framework in action. Concept, audience, offer, and sales. Mark used this exact step-by-step methodology to turn a really painful past into a highly structured million-dollar coaching business, and he did it all without knowing a single line of code. He built a system that genuinely transformed the lives of busy professionals. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What origin story will fuel your case framework? What is the core vision and mission that will drive you to build your own million-dollar reality? Take some time, think deeply about your OVM, apply these 4 steps, and start building. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and as always, keep learning.